Welcome back to my channel LinkedIn Farmer. Today we have discussed about the conservation of plants and animals, Chapter 5, Class 8. Before starting this video, please like and subscribe to my channel LinkedIn Farmer. Let's start. Introduction of conservation of plants and animals. Conservation of plants and animals is a vital field of study and practice dedicated to protecting and preserving the Earth's diverse flora and fauna. It focuses on maintaining and restoring natural habitats, safeguarding endangered species, and promoting sustainable practices to ensure the continued existence of plant and animal life for future generations. By addressing the threats posed by human activities and environmental changes, conservationists work towards maintaining the delicate balance of ecosystems and promoting biodiversity, ultimately fostering a healthier and more resilient planet. Deforestation. Deforestation is the widespread and deliberate removal, clearing, or destruction of forests and wooded areas, leading to the loss of trees and the conversion of forested lands into non-forest land uses. This process involves the elimination of both natural and human-made forests, resulting in a significant reduction in forest cover and the alteration of ecosystems. Deforestation is primarily driven by human activities such as agriculture, logging, infrastructure development, and mining, and it has profound implications for biodiversity, climate change, and the overall health of the planet. Efforts to combat deforestation focus on promoting sustainable land use practices, conservation, and reforestation to mitigate its adverse environmental impacts. Deforestation and its causes. Deforestation refers to the widespread clearing and removal of forests, leading to the loss of trees and the conversion of forested areas into non-forest land. It is a significant environmental issue with numerous causes, including agricultural expansion. One of the primary drivers of deforestation is the conversion of forests into farmland to meet the increasing demand for food and biofuels. Large-scale agriculture, such as soy, palm oil, and cattle ranching, contributes to substantial forest loss in many regions. Logging and timber harvesting. The demand for timber, wood products, and paper fuels the logging industry, leading to the extensive removal of trees from forests. Unsustainable logging practices can devastate entire forest ecosystems. Infrastructure development. The expansion of roads, highways, and other infrastructure projects often requires clearing forests, resulting in fragmentation and degradation of natural habitats. Mining. Extraction of valuable minerals and resources often requires clearing large areas of forests, causing irreversible damage to ecosystems and biodiversity. Forest fires. Both natural and human-induced forest fires contribute to deforestation, destroying vast areas of forests and releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Urbanization and population growth. Rapid urbanization and population growth lead to the expansion of cities and human settlements, often at the expense of forested lands. Illegal logging and land grabbing. Unregulated and illegal activities, such as logging and land grabbing for agriculture or mining, further exacerbate deforestation. Climate change. Climate change can also contribute to deforestation through altering precipitation patterns and increasing the frequency and severity of wildfires. The consequences of deforestation are far-reaching, including loss of biodiversity, disruption of local and global ecosystems, soil erosion, decreased water quality, and increased greenhouse gas emissions. Addressing the root causes of deforestation requires concerted efforts and sustainable practices to ensure the protection and conservation of our planet's precious forests. Consequences of deforestation. Deforestation has severe and far-reaching consequences that impact both the environment and human communities. Some of the major consequences of deforestation include loss of biodiversity. Forests are home to a vast array of plant and animal species. Deforestation disrupts their habitats, leading to the extinction or endangerment of numerous species, reducing biodiversity. Climate change. Trees play a crucial role in absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis. Deforestation releases stored carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and exacerbating climate change. Soil erosion. the roots of trees help bind the soil, preventing erosion. Deforestation leaves the soil exposed to wind and water, leading to erosion, loss of fertile topsoil, and decreased agricultural productivity. Disruption of water cycles. Forests play a crucial role in regulating the water cycle. Deforestation can lead to altered rainfall patterns, reduced water retention in the soil, and decreased stream flow, affecting both local and regional water availability. Increased flooding and landslides. Trees act as natural barriers against floods and landslides. Deforested areas are more vulnerable to these natural disasters, posing risks to nearby communities and infrastructure. Loss of indigenous and local communities' livelihoods. Many indigenous and local communities depend on forests for their livelihoods, including food, medicine, and cultural practices. Deforestation can displace these communities and disrupt their traditional way of life. Loss of ecosystem services. Forests provide essential ecosystem services like pollination, nutrient cycling, and air and water purification. Deforestation reduces the availability of these services, affecting the overall health of ecosystems. Decline in rainforest regions. Tropical rainforests are particularly vulnerable to deforestation. Their destruction not only affects the global climate but also leads to the loss of unique and valuable ecosystems. Loss of medicinal plants. Many medicinal plants are found in forests and are crucial for traditional medicine and potential pharmaceutical discoveries. Deforestation threatens the availability of these valuable resources. Impact on global economy. Deforestation can adversely affect industries like tourism, agriculture, and fisheries, as it alters landscapes and disrupts natural processes that support these sectors. Efforts to combat deforestation involve implementing sustainable land management practices, protecting and expanding forests through conservation efforts, and promoting reforestation and afforestation initiatives to restore degraded areas and mitigate the adverse effects of deforestation. Deforestation also contributes to two critical environmental issues: droughts and desertification. Droughts. Forests play a vital role in maintaining regional and global water cycles. Trees absorb water through their roots and release it into the atmosphere through a process called transpiration. This moisture contributes to cloud formation and precipitation. Deforestation disrupts this natural process, reducing the amount of moisture released into the atmosphere. As a result, regions that have undergone deforestation are more prone to experiencing droughts, as there is less moisture available for rainfall. Prolonged droughts can have devastating impacts on agriculture, water supplies, and ecosystems, leading to crop failures, water scarcity, and increased wildfire risks. Desertification. Deforestation can trigger desertification, which is the process of fertile land turning into desert-like conditions. Trees and vegetation act as a natural barrier against soil erosion, helping to retain moisture in the soil and prevent its degradation. When trees are removed, the exposed soil becomes vulnerable to wind and water erosion. This leads to a loss of fertile topsoil, making it difficult for plants to grow, and gradually transforming once productive lands into arid and barren landscapes. Desertification affects millions of people around the world, leading to food insecurity, displacement, and loss of livelihoods for communities dependent on the land. Addressing deforestation is crucial in mitigating the risk of droughts and desertification. By protecting existing forests and implementing sustainable land management practices, we can help maintain healthy ecosystems, preserve water resources, and combat the devastating effects of these environmental challenges. Conservation of forest and wildlife. Conservation of forests and wildlife is a fundamental approach aimed at protecting and preserving the Earth's natural ecosystems and the diverse plant and animal species that inhabit them. This vital conservation effort is essential to maintain ecological balance, biodiversity, and the overall health of the planet. Conservation of forests. Reforestation and afforestation initiatives are taken to replant trees in deforested or degraded areas and establish new forests on previously non-forested lands. Sustainable forest management, promoting responsible logging practices, reducing illegal logging, and ensuring that forests are managed in a way that maintains their ecological integrity. Protected areas and national parks. Establishing and maintaining protected areas, national parks, and wildlife sanctuaries to safeguard critical habitats and allow ecosystems to thrive undisturbed. Community-based conservation, involving local communities in forest conservation efforts to ensure sustainable use of forest resources and foster a sense of stewardship. Monitoring and research, utilizing scientific research and monitoring programs to better understand forest ecosystems and assess the effectiveness of conservation strategies. Conservation of wildlife. Endangered species protection, implementing measures to protect endangered species from poaching, habitat loss, and other threats. Habitat restoration, rehabilitating and restoring degraded habitats to provide suitable conditions for wildlife to flourish. Anti-poaching efforts, strengthening law enforcement and anti-poaching measures to combat illegal hunting and wildlife trafficking. Conservation breeding and reintroduction, establishing breeding programs for endangered species and reintroducing them into the wild to boost their populations. Awareness and education, raising awareness about the importance of wildlife conservation and promoting responsible behavior towards wildlife. International collaboration, working together at the global level to address wildlife conservation challenges, such as the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES. Conservation of forests and wildlife is crucial not only for the preservation of unique species but also for maintaining healthy ecosystems that provide vital services to humanity. By safeguarding these natural resources, we ensure a sustainable future for both wildlife and human populations, fostering a harmonious coexistence between nature and society. Biosphere Reserve. A biosphere reserve is a designated area that aims to conserve biodiversity, promote sustainable development, and foster scientific research and environmental education. Biosphere reserves are established by UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, under its Man and the Biosphere (MAB) program. The main objectives of a biosphere reserve are to conserve biodiversity. Biosphere reserves protect and preserve the natural diversity of ecosystems, including forests, wetlands, grasslands, and marine environments. They provide a sanctuary for a wide range of plant and animal species, including many endangered or threatened ones. Promote sustainable development. Biosphere reserves strive to find a balance between conservation and the sustainable use of natural resources. Local communities are actively involved in decision-making processes to ensure that economic development practices are ecologically responsible and socially equitable. Support scientific research. Biosphere reserves serve as living laboratories for scientists to conduct research on ecological processes, climate change, and the impact of human activities on ecosystems. Environmental education and awareness. These reserves play a crucial role in educating the public, especially local communities, about the importance of biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable development. They promote environmental awareness and foster a sense of responsibility towards nature. Biosphere reserves consist of 3 interconnected zones. Core zone. This is the central area where strict conservation measures are enforced to protect critical habitats and unique species. Human activities are restricted or regulated to minimize disturbance. Buffer zone. Surrounding the core zone, this area allows for limited human activities that are compatible with conservation goals. Here, sustainable practices are encouraged, and local communities may engage in activities like eco-friendly agriculture, ecotourism, and research. Transition zone. The outermost area, which extends beyond the buffer zone, includes human settlements and economic activities. The focus here is on promoting sustainable land use practices and ensuring that human activities are carried out in a way that does not harm the surrounding natural environment. The establishment of biosphere reserves fosters collaboration among governments, scientists, local communities, and other stakeholders to address conservation challenges and achieve long-term sustainability goals. These reserves play a vital role in preserving biodiversity, supporting sustainable development, and advancing our understanding of the intricate relationship between humans and the environment. Flora and fauna. Flora. and fauna are two terms used to describe the plant and animal life in a specific region or ecosystem. Flora. The term flora refers to all the plant species found in a particular area. This includes trees, shrubs, grasses, flowers, ferns, mosses, and any other vegetation present in the ecosystem. Flora plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance, providing food and shelter for various animal species, and contributing to the overall health of the environment. Fauna. Fauna refers to all the animal species present in a given ecosystem. This includes mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, insects, and other invertebrates. Fauna interacts with the flora and other elements of the ecosystem, forming complex food webs and contributing to important ecological processes such as pollination and seed dispersal. The study of flora and fauna is essential for understanding and conserving biodiversity, as well as for assessing the health and ecological dynamics of different ecosystems. Conservation efforts often focus on protecting and preserving the diverse flora and fauna found in various regions to ensure the continued existence and sustainability of these ecosystems for future generations. Endemic species. Endemic species are organisms that are unique to a specific geographical region and are not found naturally anywhere else in the world. These species have evolved and adapted to the particular environmental conditions and ecological niches of their limited range, making them highly specialized and distinct from other species. The term endemic is used to describe plants, animals, and other living organisms that have a restricted distribution, typically confined to isolated islands, remote mountain ranges, or specific ecosystems. Endemic species are often vulnerable to environmental changes and human activities, as they may have small populations and limited genetic diversity. Conservation efforts are crucial for preserving endemic species because their rarity and restricted range make them particularly susceptible to extinction. Protecting the habitats and ecosystems where endemic species occur helps maintain biodiversity and ensures the survival of these unique organisms, contributing to the overall health and resilience of the natural world. Wildlife sanctuary. A wildlife sanctuary is a protected area designated to conserve and protect the native wildlife species and their habitats. These sanctuaries serve as safe havens for various plant and animal species, allowing them to thrive without the threat of human disturbance or exploitation. Wildlife sanctuaries are established by governments or conservation organizations with the primary goal of preserving biodiversity and promoting ecological balance. Key features of a wildlife sanctuary include conservation of biodiversity. Wildlife sanctuaries are established to safeguard the diverse flora and fauna found in a specific area. They provide a natural habitat for a wide range of species, including endangered and threatened ones. Limited human interference. Unlike national parks or reserves where tourism and recreational activities may be allowed, wildlife sanctuaries often have strict regulations limiting human interference. The main focus is to protect and preserve the natural environment and its inhabitants. Scientific research. Wildlife sanctuaries often serve as valuable sites for scientific research and monitoring programs. Researchers study the behavior, ecology, and interactions of various species to gain insights into their conservation needs. Habitat protection. These protected areas help maintain and restore natural habitats, such as forests, wetlands, grasslands, and marine environments, which are essential for wildlife survival and ecological balance. Education and awareness. Wildlife sanctuaries play a crucial role in educating the public about the importance of biodiversity conservation and raising awareness about the threats faced by various species. Community involvement. In many cases, local communities are involved in the management and conservation efforts of wildlife sanctuaries. Their support and cooperation are vital for the long-term success of conservation initiatives. Wildlife sanctuaries contribute significantly to the conservation of threatened species and the preservation of natural ecosystems. By providing a safe and undisturbed environment, these sanctuaries help protect the delicate balance of nature and ensure the continued existence of diverse plant and animal life for future generations to enjoy. National Park. A national park is a protected area designated by a government to preserve and conserve unique natural, cultural, and historical features. National parks are intended to be kept in their natural state, with minimal human interference, in order to protect the ecological integrity and biodiversity of the region. Key characteristics of a national park include conservation of nature. The primary purpose of a national park is to safeguard the natural environment, including its diverse flora, fauna, landscapes, and ecosystems. These areas often serve as habitats for various plant and animal species, some of which may be endangered or rare. Preservation of cultural and historical heritage. Some national parks also encompass cultural and historical sites of significance, such as ancient ruins, traditional settlements, or cultural landscapes, in addition to their natural features. Limited human activities. National parks typically have strict regulations to minimize human impact on the environment. Activities like hunting, logging, and commercial development are usually restricted or prohibited to maintain the area's pristine condition. Recreation and education. National parks often provide opportunities for recreational activities such as hiking, camping, wildlife viewing, and nature photography. Additionally, they serve as outdoor classrooms, educating visitors about the importance of conservation and environmental awareness. Sustainable tourism. While national parks welcome visitors, sustainable tourism practices are encouraged to ensure that human presence does not harm the natural ecosystem. Responsible tourism helps minimize negative impacts on the environment and local communities. Park management. National parks are managed by governmental agencies or conservation organizations responsible for monitoring and protecting the area's natural and cultural resources. National parks are essential in preserving the planet's natural heritage, promoting biodiversity, and providing opportunities for people to connect with nature. They play a crucial role in conservation efforts, allowing present and future generations to appreciate and benefit from the beauty and ecological significance of these protected areas. Project Tiger. Project Tiger is a wildlife conservation initiative launched in India in 1973 with the aim of protecting and conserving the Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris. It was initiated in response to the alarming decline in tiger populations due to rampant poaching and habitat destruction. Key objectives of Project Tiger include tiger conservation. The primary goal is to ensure the survival and recovery of the Bengal tiger population by creating and maintaining tiger reserves across the country. Habitat protection. Project Tiger focuses on preserving and restoring the natural habitats of tigers, such as forests and grasslands, to provide them with sufficient space and resources for their survival. Anti-poaching measures. The project implements rigorous anti-poaching efforts to combat illegal hunting and trading of tiger parts, which is a significant threat to tiger populations. Scientific monitoring and research. Project Tiger supports scientific research and monitoring programs to better understand tiger behavior, ecology, and population dynamics. Community participation. Local communities living near tiger reserves are involved in conservation efforts and are provided with incentives to support and protect tigers and their habitats. Public awareness and education. The project aims to raise awareness among the general public about the importance of tiger conservation and the need to protect these majestic animals for future generations. Project Tiger has been highly successful in its efforts to conserve and protect tigers in India. From a critical population of around 1,400 tigers in the 1970s, India's tiger population has shown a significant increase, and it has become one of the few success stories in tiger conservation worldwide. Apart from the conservation of tigers, Project Tiger has also helped in preserving the ecosystems and biodiversity of the areas under its protection, benefiting numerous other species of flora and fauna. The project continues to be a flagship initiative in wildlife conservation, and its success has inspired similar efforts for protecting other endangered species and their habitats worldwide. Endangered animals. Endangered animals are species that are facing a high risk of extinction in the near future. They are critically vulnerable and are at a risk of disappearing from the wild if conservation efforts are not undertaken to protect and preserve their populations and habitats. Several factors contribute to the endangerment of animal species. Habitat loss, destruction, fragmentation, and degradation of natural habitats due to human activities such as deforestation, urbanization, and agricultural expansion are major threats to many species. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade, illegal hunting and trade of animal parts and products drive many species towards extinction, especially iconic species like elephants, rhinos, and tigers. Pollution of air, water, and soil can have detrimental effects on animals and their habitats, leading to declines in population numbers. Climate change alters temperature and precipitation patterns, affecting animal habitats, food sources, and reproductive cycles, thereby endangering species. Invasive species. Introduction of non-native species into ecosystems can disrupt native species habitats and food chains, leading to population declines. Disease. Outbreaks of diseases can devastate animal populations, especially when they are already under stress due to other threats. Low genetic diversity. Small and isolated populations with low genetic diversity are more susceptible to diseases and environmental changes, increasing the risk of extinction. Endangered species require urgent conservation efforts to prevent their extinction. Governments, conservation organizations, and communities around the world work together to implement strategies such as habitat protection, anti-poaching measures, captive breeding and reintroduction programs, and public awareness campaigns. The goal is to ensure the survival and recovery of these species and to maintain the overall balance and health of the ecosystems in which they play critical roles. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms, including plants, animals, and microorganisms, along with their physical environment, interacting and functioning together as a self-sustaining unit. Red Data. The Red Data Book is a compilation of comprehensive records and assessments of endangered and threatened species of plants, animals, and other organisms. It serves as an important reference for conservationists, researchers, and policymakers to identify species that require urgent protection and preservation due to their vulnerable status. The Red Data Book plays a crucial role in guiding conservation efforts and raising awareness about the need to safeguard biodiversity and prevent species from extinction. Migration. Migration is the seasonal movement of animals from one place to another, typically over long distances. It is a common phenomenon observed in various species, including birds, mammals, fish, and insects. Migration is often driven by changes in environmental conditions, such as temperature, food availability, and daylight hours. Animals migrate for various reasons. Breeding and reproduction. Many species migrate to reach breeding grounds that offer suitable conditions for nesting and raising their young. Food availability. Some animals move to areas where food is abundant during different seasons. This is particularly common among herbivores and birds. Avoiding harsh conditions. Migration allows animals to escape extreme weather conditions, such as cold winters or hot summers. Escape from predators. Some species undertake seasonal movements to avoid predators in their regular habitats. Exploiting different habitats. Migration enables animals to exploit different habitats for different purposes, such as feeding, mating, or resting. Migration routes can be vast and may involve crossing oceans, mountains, and other challenging landscapes. Many migratory species display incredible navigational abilities, using cues such as the position of the sun, stars, Earth's magnetic field, and visual landmarks to find their way. Migration is essential for the survival and reproduction of many species, as it allows them to access resources and environments that may not be available year-round in their resident habitats. However, migration also exposes animals to various risks, such as habitat loss, predation, and collisions with human-made structures. Protecting and preserving migratory routes and stopover sites is vital for the continued survival of these fascinating and ecologically important animal movements. Recycling of paper. Recycling of paper is the process of reprocessing used paper materials to create new paper products. It is an essential component of waste management and environmental conservation efforts, as it helps reduce the demand for virgin raw materials and minimizes the negative impacts of paper production on forests and ecosystems. The recycling process involves several steps. Collection. Used paper is collected from households, businesses, schools, and other sources. Recycling bins and designated collection points make it convenient for people to separate paper from other waste. Sorting. Collected paper is sorted into different categories based on its type and quality. This step helps ensure that only suitable materials go through the recycling process. Shredding. The sorted paper is shredded into small pieces to break it down into pulp, making it easier to convert it into new paper products. Pulping. The shredded paper is mixed with water to create a pulp mixture. The pulp is then cleaned to remove ink, adhesives, and other contaminants. Refining and screening. The pulp is refined and screened to achieve the desired consistency and remove any remaining impurities. Forming. The refined pulp is spread onto a screen and dried to create new paper sheets. Pressing and drying. The wet paper sheets are pressed to remove excess water and then dried to the appropriate moisture level. Finishing. The dried paper is rolled, cut, and finished to produce various paper products, such as newspapers, cardboard, writing paper, and packaging materials. Recycling paper not only conserves natural resources but also reduces energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions associated with the production of new paper. It also helps divert paper waste from landfills, reducing the overall environmental impact of paper consumption. By encouraging recycling practices and choosing recycled paper products, individuals and businesses can contribute to a more sustainable and eco-friendly future. Reforestation. Reforestation is the deliberate and planned process of planting trees and restoring forests on lands that were previously deforested or degraded. It is a critical aspect of environmental conservation and aims to replenish and recover forest cover, biodiversity, and ecosystem services that were lost due to human activities or natural disasters. Key aspects of reforestation include tree planting. Reforestation involves planting trees on land that has been cleared for agriculture, logging, or other purposes. Both native and non-native tree species may be used, depending on the specific goals and conditions of the reforestation project. Ecological restoration. Reforestation projects often focus on restoring entire ecosystems, including soil health, water resources, and wildlife habitats. This approach helps create sustainable and resilient forests. Biodiversity conservation. Efforts are made to reintroduce or promote the growth of plant and animal species that were once abundant in the area, ensuring that the restored forest supports a diverse range of flora and fauna. Climate change mitigation. Reforestation helps in capturing and storing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, mitigating the effects of climate change. Trees act as carbon sinks, helping to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Soil protection and erosion control. Tree roots help stabilize soil and prevent erosion, which is especially crucial in areas prone to landslides and desertification. Community involvement. Successful reforestation projects often involve local communities in planning, implementation, and long-term management. Inclusion of local knowledge and support enhances the project's sustainability and effectiveness. Reforestation efforts can take place on various scales, from small community-led projects to large-scale government initiatives. They play a crucial role in combating deforestation, promoting biodiversity, addressing climate change, and restoring the ecological balance of degraded lands. Reforestation is an essential tool for achieving global environmental sustainability and ensuring a healthier future for our planet. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.